welcome to After V1. Before we start with the talking, we have the Geats trailer to watch.
Oh my goodness, do we?
I haven't seen it yet. I mean, I saw it raw, but I didn't see the subs.
Right, I only half watched the subs.
ID コアとドライバーが届いたら、それは仮面ライダーへの招待状。デザイアグランプリ開幕。
Entry. Entry. Entry.
That guy's gonna die.
Entry.
Entry.
Wow. It was a Geats.
Is it
俺の
Geats soon?
新番組仮面ライダーギーツ。
Welcome to my world. Geats!
おめでとうございます。
Why are you wearing Grace's
I was gonna
jacket?
say, who is this guy?
Ukio Ace.
桜井慶和さん。
That guy's dead. I know you're dead.
Dead fucking meat.
何これ？どういうこと？
Oh, ballsack head.
Wow! Oh, we're killing
sure
people with that
Pretty
X-Edge
sure
filter on.
I saw those guys in Bloodborne.
助けて。
Yeah, they're those fucking...
What?
Hey, a bunch of cats!
Oh, a girl. Just
Celebrity influencer.
I'm shaking my head. This is
Kurama
Poppy
Neon.
2.
Oh no, I've got some good news for Poppy too.
Oh, that's not her.
Nah.
Hey, you look
Well,
like a guy.
actually, she might be Poppy too. We might have an Izu too as well. No, not that Izu too. I mean,
Yeah.
the other thing.
This guy looks like Bowser.
He kind of does.
He
この
literally
世
looks.
界を変
Isn't that?
えるのは誰か。運命の時
Brain
Oh,
people?
that's Poppy too.
Yeah, game navigator.
This is a character who is not a person, but in fact a woman. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I watched
You watched X
Real Bite. I did watch X. I know about characters.
謎のモンスター。
who
ジャ
are
マト
women.
から人々を
Not
守る
people.
ゲーム。それぞれの願いをかけて仮面ライダーたちが参
You know, there's two of those bears.
These look so bad.
戦。
Entry.
世界の命運は彼らに託された。
They're like
Fuck those guys. You don't get to know
just
anything.
the head and nothing else. I can't express how much I don't fucking like it. I feel like maybe I'm the only person who isn't a fan of this.
It's not the best.
It looks terrible.
It's not great.
I mean, I get that it's like the like base form or whatever, but it's like but it's like, I mean, are all these guys getting upgrades, or am I gonna have to actually look at this?
I mean, there's like the little, like the arrow and the hammer and shit that I imagine a lot of them are going to be using, but
新番組
everyone who doesn't
仮面
die
ライ
is
ダ
going to
ーギー
get
ツ。
something. I
9
can
月4日日曜
assume.
日
Do you think so?
午前9時スタート。
Yeah, I figure they just haven't done it yet because, like, even if all of them only got one of the buckle things, that's still like 8. Like,
Hopefully it's
out
X8.
all at once.
See, it's not. Yeah, it probably is going to be like a level 1 thing, like X8. It's just that, like, of all of the like base,
All the way-
of all the like under forms or like base forms, or however you want to call it, like the platform.
Yeah,
It
Ryuki Blank.
It literally, and I mean, it literally is designed to be like that, but it literally looks incomplete. It's just a helmet over top of an undersuit. It looks terrible. It looks terrible. And if there's gonna be dudes running around like that, it's like, I just don't get the point because it's just aesthetically displeasing.
I feel like there could be more to differentiate the base suits like any other color, because they all have a different whatever the fuck the ID chips are called.
I guess
Yeah.
everybody will get some kind of upgrade, but it's just such a weird choice. This is all
To
we know. This is
start
all we've
with-
seen of the characters right now, except for
Yeah.
that Geats has armor. I'm not
And
impressed with
Buffer.
any of them. Yeah, and Buffer.
Yeah.
I'm not
And
impressed.
We've seen the panda using Magnum as well.
I'm not impressed with the
It's
visuals.
not-
I'm not
no.
a fan. They made the undershoes be simple because it's gonna be like 50 riders. I mean, Yeah, but you know, when all the XA riders shared a base design, at least they had differentials in them.
Yeah, different.
Everybody had the same chest piece and the same basic undersuit, but they would be colored differently, and like there'd be
There's
something
no.
to differentiate them. It's
There's
just
no money.
it's literally just a black. It's you know what it is. It's fucking Kage from Saber.
It is. It's literally just Kage, but like there's 10 of them.
Yeah. It was so distracting. I feel like I couldn't even focus on the actual.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Well, they're
You get
talking about the
You get the
the
basic,
starting premise, which is going to stop mattering after 20.
You get
episodes.
the basic idea. You get the basic idea. There's some common riders. There's a Fortnite. They're gonna fight. It's not rocket science. It's a Takahashi show.
Yeah, it's really not rocket science.
I know we probably won't be seeing entry forms past episode 12, but this is the marketing. You know.
Yeah, it's not exactly generating excitement.
No. But definitely, if there's one thing that we've learned is that the marketing doesn't matter.
Yep, for real. The premise as introduced in like the conference brief also doesn't matter.
I didn't even watch the conference brief, to be honest with you.
I
mean, the premise is Fortnite, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Takahashi's
just battle royale.
battle games.
It's just a battle royale, right? It's
Yeah.
just Ryuki, Gaim. It's a battle royale season.
We've seen.
We've done this
We've
dance
been-
a few times before. I
It's
know what to expect.
At least it's better to just come out and say, by the way, there's going to be a lot of guys, as opposed to
just flopping them in.
slowly, bringing them in. You think maybe it'll be a bit
But it seems like, I mean,
Squid Games.
Squid Game. You know, probably more Gaim than Ryuki because, you know, Gaim dropped everybody all at once. Not really. I mean, but it dropped them all pretty fast. Ryuki took.
Yeah.
I mean,
a while.
You know, they were dropping new riders in Ryuki up to like the 40s.
Yeah.
Like literally, like that's.
And
like,
they were only 13 of those guys.
In the show.
We've
There was
already
only,
got 7 of these motherfuckers.
There was only 9
10?
in the show. I think
9.
Well, 13.
Yeah, because Verde, Fem, and Ryuga were not there.
Yeah, Verde, Fem, and Ryuga were never in the show.
Yeah,
it really
the alternatives.
It really fucking kills me that Ryuga is one of the 13 when he's just Black
Just
Ryuki.
evil. Yeah.
It just bugs me.
Evil.
I don't even
Evil
remember what
Shinji.
was wrong with. I don't really know what his deal was because I didn't like that movie.
My understanding is he's Mirror World Shinji.
There's no people in the mirror. I don't. It doesn't matter. Inoue wrote
Yeah,
that, so I don't.
Inoue wrote that, so he just made some shit up.
It's not canon.
It never happened.
You at least made each rider an actual character. It's the thing that made it work with Ryuki is that each character, even if they were antagonists or not, like there's obviously the main like 4 or 5 of them, some of whom were antagonists, some of whom were not. But then like, you know, guys like Tiger, what's the crab? Scissors. I was gonna call him Cancer, but that's the Forza monster.
Yeah.
You know, like the guys who only lasted for a couple weeks, or like Guy, they served a narrative purpose, you know.
Yes, it was all for something.
It was all for something. Counting the Demon Troopers and movie guys, we have 15 riders in Revice.
Oh.
Whatever.
Wow. Whatever.
Emperor was there for all of 4 episodes, and you know what, Emperor, those were
man.
really good 4 episodes.
Oh yeah, Scissors was coming right $1 million, wasn't he?
It's $1 million. What was that
He
guy's
looked
name?
like $1 million.
In Dragon Knight?
Incisor?
Is that really true? Probably.
I think that's right.
The thing about Emperor is that he might have only been there for 4 episodes, but that arc was really good, and it was more of a compliment to Tiger.
Yeah.
Until I fucking killed him.
Until I fucking killed him.
Until I fucking killed him.
We had an Impala rider once.
Until I fucking killed him. I love Emperor because his contract monsters were like the first monsters in the show. They were in the show since like episode 5.
It's
he
just a
just, like,
fucking stampede.
what a fucking nut job.
So
Like, what if I
funny.
contracted with 1,000,000 monsters?
A
And everyone was
herd
like,
of mirror monsters.
that's a problem. He's like, yeah, my contract monster is a shitty low level monster that you could kill in your sleep. But what if there were 6,000 of them?
What if they fucking trampled you to death with their hooves?
What if I trampled you to death with my fucking hooves?
What would you do?
What if I stabbed you? What if I stabbed you and I got hit by a car? Comedy.
I was just gonna say alternative is there as well.
Alternative and alternative zero. Yeah. So technically
The
there were
funniest guys.
11
11, yeah, but
or 12.
the way alternative zero is a separate thing.
Yeah. It's like birth and proto birth.
So funny. That's still forever the hard mode of how well can you tell suits apart is those two.
Is zero and alternative zero or alternative and alternative zero?
Yeah. It is possible.
Yeah,
I know
at
how
least
to do
proto
it,
birth
but-
has a red mark on it.
Yeah, at least there's something. He's got those red rings on him.
Yeah.
Alternative and alternative zero, one of them has a painted silver triangle on the head and the other one doesn't.
Great.
And I can tell you they're different, but I still actually couldn't tell you which one is which.
Yeah, I couldn't possibly tell you.
Who give a shit?
Uh,
The most I know about alternative is when he was in World of Negative for a minute. And Dark Kiva killed him.
he was in Forza. His
he
actor.
wasn't.
Yeah, his actor was in
Okay,
Forza.
okay. For a second you scared
He
me.
was in Forza.
That would be so fucked up.
Guy, yeah, I mean Guy the
Guy
point
is so funny.
the point of Guy is for him to be killed. Not really for you to pity him necessarily. I think it's been a while. I feel like the point of the character was that he wasn't taking things seriously. No.
Yeah.
The point of the character, I think, was to offer temptation to Shinji to like take things more brutally, and he chose not to. I can't remember. It's been so long. There wasn't like the narrative purpose of Kamen Rider Guy was something to do with Shinji, like growing as a character, and also like his death was to illustrate the threat that Oja poses. Because I believe Guy was the second rider to die.
After Scissors, right?
Scissors died first, and that was
Scissors died to his
the
own
point.
contract.
Scissors was to illustrate the fact that the rider war is actually dangerous and riders will die.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
in
the
terms of the
contract
Heisei
monsters are
era,
not to
that
be
was
trusted.
the first permanent death of a rider.
Yeah, I
no,
guess
people
it
died in
was.
Agito, didn't they?
Did
Another Agito?
no?
Another Agito
yes,
died.
another Agito died, but no one was watching Agito. At that point, so.
Yeah, I forgot about another Agito.
Yeah, he did die. Actually, Gills died as well.
Well,
at
he got
least
better.
once.
I said
He
permanent
got
death.
better. Yeah. He did die once. So.
Scissors' death was to illustrate the fact that the rider war is dead serious, and also to illustrate some points about, despite the fact that Ren talks a lot of shit, when he's actually faced with the death of a human being, he kind of backs down,
And that you can't trust contract
and that you
monsters.
can't trust cops. Cops are not your friends. Yeah,
Don't
and also
trust
it was
that
also
crap.
to illustrate that your contract monster will fucking eat you, which never really
Given-
came up again.
But just so you know,
There was a point where Shinji was in danger of the dragon eating him because he stopped fighting.
yeah, just so you understand that if you fuck up, you're gonna get eaten.
Yeah, if you lose control of your contract, it will eat you. But Guy's death was to illustrate the idea that Ojo is a serious threat. Since rider deaths were a relatively new thing for the franchise at that point. I mean, yeah, another Agito did die, but like
Yeah,
a lot
that
of
was
people
another
died.
Agito.
Another people died in Riki. Oh yeah, that's right. Sakura was. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Speaking of stakes and consequences in Kamen Rider, how about that one we just watched?
No, we didn't watch an episode of Kamen Rider.
We didn't actually. We 100% did not
I
watch an episode.
couldn't honestly say that I was barely paying attention. I wasn't really doing
Um,
anything else. Like I wasn't on my phone or anything. I wasn't not paying
no,
attention, but it
no,
just
yeah.
went right through my head. I don't even remember what
Uh,
happened.
I
George
gotta
wants
be
to kill
honest.
everybody because
Yeah, I was paying attention as much as I always do, which is
not.
as much as I can when I'm doing two things.
Uh-huh.
um, and a similar level of retention.
George wants to
Shit
kill
happened.
everybody
I got the
because
big
he
point.
thinks he's apparently saying that
As long as
demons
his
exist,
excuse
his excuse is that if demons exist, there can't be peace. But like twice, that's been challenged as not really what he wants.
Yeah,
So-
it's definitely not what he's really all about right now, because they're throwing some pretty clear hints that, like, from Hiromi literally asking, "Is that what you really care about?" and him being like, "Well, obviously."
Donbrothers was great this week.
Donbrothers was fucking amazing.
It was
Worst,
weird as hell.
actually.
It was weird.
Yeah. So he's doing this out of some kind of weird vendetta stroke proving himself superior to his dead dad, who was the worst guy in the show.
Yeah.
Which
like-
awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Love that. Invincible John
Got her ass beat.
got her ass beat in her second ever fight. Awesome. Iki has forgotten his parents.
Again, I know I do want to like that would work. That would be like a huge
Yes.
heartbreaker moment if
So good in theory.
I fucking cared about Iki.
If he was a character, that would resonate so much.
I think it may be
We were-
just because I'm so bitter towards this show at this point, but like
Yeah.
the sorry, just like I don't know.
The
It-
wasted potential.
It's just wasted. Like the raw emotion of it was great, but the show's just not there. They haven't earned that. It
No,
really felt like
not
like just a swing to the head. Like I just got hit in the head with a bat with just Iki suddenly forgot his parents.
Like, we went from forgetting little things, like stuff that happened in the past, times they went on vacation and stuff, to, oh, his, like,
His-
principal family
His
members.
whole entire parents gone. It just felt like a swing. It just felt like a swing for the fences.
Remember when
Yeah,
they
they-
killed the Weekend Dad, and it was exactly like that? Like,
Yeah,
in theory, a very good moment.
great, well
quite
acted,
resonant, but
well acted,
really-
well shot, well directed.
really
It
good,
absolutely
but,
It absolutely failed to hold up because it's just a sad, dramatic scene that exists in a vacuum.
Yeah, all as character development for fucking Hikaru.
You know, you can't just swing for the you can't just bunt every fucking pitch and then suddenly swing for the fences and be like, "What a great player!" I'm using baseball
Yeah.
analogies now, but like,
Mm-mm.
you know, you have to swing through. Like you have to swing through the whole time. You can't just suddenly, you know, that's what this show has really been about. Is just every so often they just hit a home run in a vacuum. Like in a vacuum, that scene really hit. You know, and like in a vacuum, the Weekend Dad dying was a really good scene, and like in a vacuum, like the stream fight.
Yes, that was
Also
amazing.
hit super good, but taken as
Wow.
parts of a whole, it's just like,
Just
you know, every couple episodes this show just like brings out actual quality, but the quality is bogged down. It's like eating fucking garbage, and every 10 bites of garbage you get handed like gourmet sushi,
mm,
and you're like, wow, this is great, and then they hand you more garbage.
yeah. Also, Rob, that's exactly right. We didn't need to have watched any of the show to have had exactly the same emotional response to that. It's just not there. But also, I have to say the most important thing come out of this episode is that there was a Juga.
There really was. It really was a Juga at the end of
In the
day.
end, at the end of the day,
I'm gonna cry if they don't actually do the thing where he scans other
oh
things.
God, me too. Oh, I hadn't even considered that as a possibility, but I'm actually going to be so fucking. I'm going to be beside myself
I mean,
if
he
he
doesn't
doesn't do
have
it.
any of the stamps, last I checked.
No, I guess. Well, weren't there a million of all of them? Didn't they just mass produce those fucking things?
I have
Because
no idea.
the Geist man had them all in a podium in his office, and like they definitely weren't the ones that.
Juga.
Did I not? Did I see right earlier that the Juga driver voice is fucking Vegeta?
Vegeta, yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I saw.
Oh, which is really funny because yeah, nothing.
Nothing. It's just
Fuck all. Making it's like as a reference to Cougar Ultimate.
You know,
Fail.
in action, in motion, the suit actually looks fine.
Yeah,
It's maybe
the
just.
suits.
I
Yeah,
think just the color scheme is saving it. Black and gold always looks pretty good.
always looks good, and like Ryder doesn't dip into that very often for obvious reasons.
Those are
Because it invites.
piss.
It invites the comparison to Cougar Ultimate, but this is doing that on purpose
Yeah,
for
yeah. You know,
whatever
yeah, and it
reason.
really is. It really is. Like black with gold accents is always a good design. They never do it for obvious reasons. It's really easy to go overboard with it. Like fucking
Yeah.
Rising Ultimate, the ugliest suit ever made.
Yeah.
That's not a joke. One of the ugliest things ever made.
It's really quite bad.
It's really quite disgusting.
I let it off because I watched that movie that's in
First.
quite early on
Yeah.
in this, so I didn't have it just got in there before I like really
See,
had
yeah,
a
I
foundation
also-
of what
I
good
also
suits
saw-
look like.
I also saw Rising Ultimate first.
Yeah, so but like objectively it's terrible.
It's not great.
I'm about to be
I'm
hilarious.
about to be fucking. Yeah, you know, it is funny, George watching Kuga and not understanding the point. That's and that way he truly is a Kamen Rider fan.
Truly.
Truly,
One
truly.
of the most. He watched Cougar Ultimate. That, the classic the Gundam comic with the guy shooting and it going right over his head. Yeah. Violence is inherently dehumanizing. Wow. Cool Cougar.
Wow, it was a Guga.
It was a Cougar.
Wow,
The way he's
violence is dehumanizing, and then his takeaway was, I need to exterminate things that are bad.
I need to kill people that I don't like. It was so funny how Daiji was like, "Please, we'll give you the belts. We'll
What?
stop being Kamen Riders. Just please don't kill anybody." And he was like, "That literally defeats the point."
You don't understand that I want to kill you.
I want to kill you.
I need to kill you.
I had to sit there and listen to you be clocked the fuck in every day for months.
What if he was just like,
I'm
oh, by
gonna
the way, okay, it's like, hold
kill
on.
you.
What if I just killed Daiji?
That'll do it.
How about you guys give me all the belts, and also I kill Daiji, and we'll be good. Yeah, it sounds fair. He really did slap his ass like that.
For real.
Got the Gundam Universe, new Gundam, Shockwave. Cool. Hey, how is that? Is that good? What does it come with? I didn't know they had a universe. Anyway, Daiji really did learn nothing. We said it enough, but Daiji really did learn nothing.
Yeah. The man took nothing away from his months of servitude to one of the most obviously evil men in history.
Daiji will absolutely grovel at the feet of anyone who he perceives as more powerful than him.
A bit sad, honestly.
This is his character. I mean, this is his defining character trait. Daiji will absolutely grovel at the feet of anyone that he recognizes to be superior to him. If another rider is stronger than him, he will just roll over and take it.
For real.
George does feel like 4 different characters because they've retconned him so many fucking times.
Yeah, we're kind of back-ish to the start, although there's some other stuff that's stuck to him out of the boring bit in the middle. This is kind of what he was like near the beginning.
Still feels like this is all out of nowhere.
Yeah, it really, really is. Was with no standards. That's a shameful comparison to be right about, you know?
Yeah.
the high standards of Kamen Rider fucking Gio. That's just depressing to think about. To fail to meet the high mark of was.
It only comes with the beef saber and the funnels. That is weird. Yeah, was the highest standard of guys.
The guys who get severely rewritten.
I cannot wait for Takahashi to come back.
Ugh, do we have to?
It's gotta be better than this.
Do we have to do it?
At least the only thing we'll have to deal with Takahashi is just obscene misogyny.
I was gonna say, yeah, the misogyny, which we're used to. We get enough of it.
I hope you guys enjoyed Sakura, because we're not getting that again.
No fucking way.
Unless the one we say that every time Takahashi gets better.
Yeah, maybe this time
he learned that women are people, but I severely doubt it.
Hey, I wouldn't bet on it.
Hey, I wouldn't. Hey, I'm next. Hey, I don't think so, bud. Revice is like walking out the door. He's like, "Hey, just got my really well-written female writer," and Geets is like, "Hey, I'm next. Hey, buddy, I doubt it."
Hey, I doubt it. Fuck.
Maybe High School Heroes fixed him. Maybe it did.
Yeah, mate. I mean, I hear it was really good.
I hear it was
but
really good.
Also, it is a very different beast to a
Real
weekly serialized show.
Real Toku. I haven't.
Yeah.
I hear it's good, but I'm not willing to. I'm not saying that everybody's wrong, but I'm not willing to just accept that at face value.
Yeah.
I mean, Rob.
Well, okay. Yes.
Yes, but there was another woman in that show.
There was another woman in that show who. Oh yes, but speaking of. Speaking as riders, Yua was absolutely far and away better than Poppy in that she was
actually a participant sometimes.
That's more generous than I was going to say. She was way better because she was nothing instead of being actively egregious to deal with.
Yeah.
She was pure neutrality, plain, untoasted bread, nothing.
Actively participating sometimes.
Sometimes
she had that pop off one time.
Yeah,
she died. No, she didn't die, right? Everybody else died.
Everybody else died, I'm told.
So I'm told.
So I hear from having never watched anything.
I'm not particularly
Revice,
convinced that the female writer in Geets will matter, because there's already 12,000 dudes.
Yeah,
and statistically speaking, a lot of them are just not going to be important characters.
No.
And she's not one of the first. She's not the top two guys, so she's probably not going to matter.
I think she's sort of being billed as the third.
Is she?
Well, it went Geets, and then the green guy.
The green guy is not secondary.
Remember.
He's the
is
secondary.
He not?
Is it not Bufa?
But he's the evil guy, isn't he?
Is he?
I thought so. He's talking like it. He looks.
I mean, I thought that he would be the rival secondary type.
Maybe. Fuck it.
I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Primary, secondary stuff is so fucked
so
up at this point. It's really not straightforward at all. Who is the secondary of Revice?
It's me.
It
was me, Daiji.
It was Juga. Yeah, I don't think any of them are evil.
I feel like Tycoon. Who is Tycoon?
That's the green guy. That's his name.
The guy who I said was gonna die.
Yeah.
Bufa is listed fourth. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe he's the. You know what? Maybe he's the fake out first boss. Yeah, the Caliber. Yeah. He's the Caliber. I was basing it on that he's the only other guy that we've seen in actual armor.
Yeah, which is a not unreasonable grade to go by.
So
to be honest, the only other guy with a real suit.
I just assumed that he would be. I can't tell you how much I'm not looking forward to this guy's character arc of being the happy goody guy.
Yes. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. I remember watching X-Aid and thinking, man, I really want more of what happens with Emu here. I should really go for that again in a couple of years, and Naruto to a lesser extent. Well, actually, just to sort of worst paced extent because he started off happy and ended up miserable, but like there was kind of a lot of nothing in the middle.
He
And
started
then he
happy
went-
and he ended up miserable, and then he kind of got neutral.
Yeah. Well,
And then
just bad things happened to him non-stop for the middle, and at the end he turned into the Joker.
he turned into the Joker.
Joker-fied.
But then he stopped being the Joker.
And then he stopped being the Joker, and then he was again for a minute, and then he went to space.
Yeah, and then he went to space and got shot.
Yeah, in the street.
They shot him in space. Like, they just
I
shot
saw
up
him in
at him.
space.
It's like, whoa, that was crazy. I guess it's hard to make. It's hard to. Like, it feels like everything is so formulaic that we can just guess, but sometimes they you know, the marketing is intentionally obscuring everything.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
because they understand how formulaic the show has become. Like, they know that if they show you too much, that you'll just be able to write the plot yourself.
Yeah, probably.
But it's Takahashi. Takahashi
Well,
is
I mean-
nothing if not predictable.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, who knows? Because maybe you could write the plot at the start, and then it'll turn out to be something completely different.
Yeah.
Because God knows we just don't get enough rewrites after 15 episodes.
Maybe what we
multiple
need to
times
do
a
is
show.
just fuck off with the concept of a secondary writer. Like, maybe like not like we as a like as a community, as a fandom, as a fan base. I hated a lot of the words I just said there.
Yeah, but
I
there's no good way
As
to
people
refer
who
to
watch
it.
these shows, I think we
Yeah.
just need to cut the shit and just forget that a quote unquote secondary writer is a thing that
It's-
exists anymore.
It's gone.
It's
done.
just, it doesn't exist anymore. It just isn't.
It hasn't existed
There
in
is no
Reiwa
number
at
2
all.
guy. The last secondary writer was Gates.
Yep.
Gates.
Gates, the other one.
Not Gates. Gates.
It's not confusing.
Gaze.
Gaze, Kamen Rider Gaze. He was the last secondary writer. There
Truly.
hasn't been one in Reiwa at all. Not a proper one. Not a genuine actual secondary.
Not a guy
writer.
that you can say with there are shows where like most common writers you could be like, this is the secondary writer. Nobody would debate that. It is a categorical fact. Gates is the secondary writer of Geo. Cross.
Inarguably.
Cross, Zero Nose, whatever. Inarguably. The most argument you could ever get out of that is like Blade.
Yeah.
Not Blades, but Blade.
Blade, yeah.
With Garen and Chalice.
Yeah, that's...
Garen is
Yeah.
officially listed as the secondary writer,
He
but
is.
Chalice is
Design-wise.
obviously the second most important character.
Yeah.
But, Ixa and Saga? I don't know. I mean, Ixa showed up way before Saga.
Yeah, Saga is like... If there's a third, it's him.
If
But
it's
like,
a third, it's Saga.
yeah.
I don't know, but I didn't watch till where Saga was debuted.
I mean, everyone would say Ixa. I would say Ixa. Ixa.
But with 01, it's like, well, yeah, Fua is the second most important writer. Arguably, at some points, more important.
Yeah.
But like, he never feels like the number 2 guy to 01 for reasons that we've discussed to death.
Yeah.
Kabuto's secondary is Gatak.
Definitely.
The B isn't relevant. Zabi isn't narrative enough. Isn't important enough in the narrative, considering that he gets passed around to 4 different characters.
Yeah. Who is Zabi?
Zabi, the official user of Zabi is the last user.
Right, which makes sense because everybody else went on to be
the only guy
something
who
else.
wasn't anybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, because the other two are the Hoppers and Gatak.
And he used it at the end. For what it's worth. Akito, G3, and Gills are all main writers of their own season.
Literally.
I guess you could argue about that. Is the secondary writer Gills or is it G3?
Yeah, it's G3.
It's G3. Actually,
It's G3 because
G3 shows up first.
It's right. That's right.
Akito,
Gills is.
Akito,
I love
the
Gills
first main
as a
character to be the
character,
second character of his own show.
Amazing. I love Gills, but yeah, for real, he ain't. He's barely the third, and there's only 3 of them for most of the show.
That's true.
He fucks off for such huge stretches of time because he's just there.
He's just there.
He really has nothing to do with it.
Akito really is the first protagonist to be not the protagonist of his own show. The amount of time that you
Thinking about
spend with
Inoue
the
writing
G3
again.
unit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that is a point. Is Inoue shows do kind of fuck around like crazy.
Yeah,
with
that's
this.
true because it's hard to say
He's
Kaiza
not-
is the secondary writer.
Yeah, I mean
He
Kiba
is.
was not a writer for most of the show, but he is absolutely like the most thematic pairing.
Vice's
with...
secondary writer is Vice. Like somebody else as Vice.
Yeah, fuck me. It's
that 2 weeks when Kiva was Vice.
Aggregate.
Paddlehopper is the secondary black.
Right.
Anyway, the point being that these days, like the lines get pretty blurry, and like I think we got to just sort of drop this like we can't keep expecting the shows to like fit the mold, is what I mean.
Yeah,
you know?
like the whole 1, 2, 3,
yeah,
4
they don't fit the
thing.
mold
It just
anymore.
it doesn't do it. It's you can do it with 3 riders. It's easy with 3 riders.
Yeah,
you know who the 3rd rider is in Ghost.
Who's the 3rd rider in Revice?
Fuck, literally, who is it? Like, obviously,
it's Sakura. But I mean, like,
it's Sakura.
Officially,
but
it's Sakura,
really,
but it's not. It's
Daichi.
Yeah,
it's Daichi, easy. But like, that's the thing is because officially it does all line up. Like, oh, it's 01, it's Vulcan, it's Valkyrie, it's Blades. No, it's fucking Saber. It's Blades. It's Espada.
Is it Espada? Because Espada wasn't in the show for half of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But like, he absolutely is the 3rd guy because he's the other sword driver user. But he's not the 3rd rider, is he?
No.
Who the fuck was?
It was the 3rd rider was Blades, and the 2nd rider was fucking Yuri.
Oh my god, that's right. Yeah, he was.
I mean, he was like the second most important guy for like a long time. Like during that whole long ass Psycho, during that whole long ass arc when Saber was bitching out with the rest of the swordsmen and like wasn't hanging out with them, it was just him and Psycho against the world. You know, Rintaro would show up sometimes and be like, "Hey man, why did you betray us or whatever?
Are you really a traitor?
Are you really a traitor?" And Saber would go, "No." And then Psycho would turn into a sword.
He turned into a little sword.
Remember that time he wore a dress?
No.
You don't remember that?
I don't.
There's an episode in Saber where Psycho wore a dress, where Yuri wore a dress.
I'm seeing it now.
Yeah, you're seeing it now. Anyway, the point being, like, there is nobody really fits that narrative role in these shows anymore. You know.
And they're definitely not going to in Geats. Like, no
secondary
fucking
feels
way.
like second command rather than second most narrative important. But I don't think Rintaro fits either of those. I mean, I guess he does at the end, like near the end when they like start hanging out again. But I feel like in the beginning, like for like the first half of the show, he wasn't doing it. But like nobody fits either of those in Revice. Nobody's the second most important character, and nobody feels like the number 2 guy. You know, there's Ghost and there's Spectre. You know,
easy.
There's you know there's Build and there's Cross. There's Geo and there's Geats. There's Revice and who?
Vice.
And there's Drive and
Maha.
Well, he's not really the second in command, but like you know, there's
no,
Drive
but he's
and there's
the secondary. Yeah,
it's inarguable.
Well, there's only 2 of them for most of it. So.
Yeah, it's inarguable. But like, there's Revice and who, you know?
It's like because Iki and Vice are doing a lot of what would normally be reserved for double riders, which is the most generous thing I'm ever going to say, implying that Iki, by the way, is a main rider character by himself.
Vice is the main character.
Vice is the fucking main character. Iki is window dressing. He's there.
Yeah.
We've said
He's the
this
guy
before.
Because we have to have a guy.
Yeah, there's got to be a guy, but it's Vice. It's like if Ryotaro was nothing. Embarrassing stuff. The more time passes, the more it's like kind of astonishing to see literally the 50th anniversary rider show have a guy who is fuck all to this extent. It's really quite amazing.
It is really quite crazy.
I don't know how this has been allowed to happen. I don't get it. I do not know how you. I was gonna say make a character who is so little, but how you just don't make a character.
Rewrites just rewrote him to death. You know,
they rewrote him out of fucking.
This show got fucking executive mismanaged to death. It's
For
really
real.
the sad truth of it.
I
just get the feeling. I really do get the feeling that Toei just doesn't really care about this anniversary.
Nah.
Oh, you're right. Checkmate. Rinto is in the ending dance. Kento isn't. You're right.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
You're right.
Checkmate.
The end. Fuck, I forgot they even had one.
Do you remember when people used to speculate that what's her name, the girl, May?
Yeah.
May would be not Ikazuchi. Espada, because she was in the ending and he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like when it was becoming clear that he was gonna die.
Yeah,
people were like, May's gonna be the new Espada, and then that didn't happen.
Then no one was the new Espada
for like 30 episodes, and then he just came back.
Came back as Caliber, and then gave it back over.
He could have been Espada. It's so funny to him. He really could have been Espada the whole time, and he just chose not to be. He made a conscious choice to use Caliber. I think he had a reason. Like Caliber was like sealing the other books or something.
Yeah, to kill the swords.
But he had Espada the whole. Well, I guess Saber had it, but like he could have chose to be Espada if he wanted to. I don't blame him for not doing it because Caliber's better. Like power-wise, it killed him.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking effective.
It killed him
until he strangely stopped using Joe Dragon.
That was weird. I wonder why he did that.
Yeah,
I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know.
Iki and Gensro are like the similar characters, but Iki's like we tried to squeeze out big character arcs out of Gensro though. See, the thing about Gensro as a main character is that like on paper there's nothing crazy about Gensro like in Forza, because he's the kind of main character that like facilitates the growth and character arcs of other characters. That like what made Gensro work in Forza was because his supporting cast was so strong with the Kamen Rider Club. Like Gensro was a stronger character by design because of the other characters that he was surrounded with. On his own, if you just put Gensro alone in a situation, he has nothing to go on. I mean, like, he has things, like, he's interesting, but, like, he's not a very interesting character in terms of, like, dissecting him as a person. He's pretty flat, he's pretty straightforward. You know, like, you watch one episode, you don't even have to watch an episode of Forza, you can literally just look at those fucking gift sets that go around on Twitter or on Tumblr with no context, right?
Yeah,
like of him jumping into the river, bridge, or him saying he's like, I'm going to be friends with you despite you, whatever. You know those posts. You can get what Gensro is about in 5 seconds.
Yeah,
because he says it constantly. I'm going to be friends with everybody, kind of thing. Like you can get what Gensro is about in 5 seconds. It's everybody else around him that makes him interesting as a package. His relationship with the characters to change them into better people, you know, him wanting to befriend even enemies, you know, like everything about Forza works because of its supporting cast, all of them not being writers. It is the same. It is like he's like Goku in that way. You're right, but it's funny to say that Takeru in Ghost was also the same way. He didn't have a whole lot going for him. In terms of, that's why people call him boring. Takeru on his own doesn't have a whole lot going for him. Once you get out of that early stuff where he's like depressed, like that first like 12 episodes when he's like struggling with the whole ghost thing, that's kind of the extent of what he had going for him. But you pair Takeru with Onari and Akari, and especially Alan, and to a lesser extent Makoto, and he's like the rock. It's the same way that Gensro is. Gensro is the rock of which everything circles, like everything is held together by that character. If you remove that character, everything falls apart. It's the same thing with Taku. There was literally an episode about. It was literally an episode about this. There was literally an arc about this in Forza at near the end when Virgo scares the shit out of them all and is like, if you guys don't stop hanging around with Gentaro, you will fucking die. And everyone decides, or like, you know, it's decided that they all need to like go their separate ways for their own safety. And like, it all falls apart because this, like, they're not as a unit. It's why the characters need to be together. Like, they literally made an arc about it to demonstrate the point of, that is the point of this show, is that these characters have to function as a unit. Iki doesn't have that because he's not the Rock, is what I think the point was, right?
Yes, yeah. I was gonna say in the middle of that, even if that were what they were going for,
which it's clearly not.
The Rock to who?
To whom?
To whom? There are no characters in this show.
Yeah.
Well, if there are, everyone has, like, you know when they beat GIF and everyone got their fucking side characters come in,
and he had nothing.
And he had nothing. Like, Daiji had fucking Hiromi come over, Sakura and Hana and Tamaki were all together.
Yeah.
Iki and Vice. Just them. They are unrelated, despite literally being a family to the other two main riders. No connection, no association, no relationship.
Nope.
Really.
He has no friends.
No.
You know, he has no... His Vice's Rock. Like, yeah, like, it should be his family. Like, it should be his parents. Like, but, like, that's the thing, is, like, he could be that character if the rest of his family weren't common riders.
Yeah, I was thinking when you said that
Sakura and
about...
Daiji were not riders, that might actually fix the show in some way. I mean, you would have to give up Sakura.
Yeah,
but in terms of it would fix
like...
it would fix Iki. It wouldn't fix the show. It would fix this issue with the show. I don't think it would fix the show entirely. But if you delete John and Live and make Iki the only rider of his family, or just like the only rider in general, other than like one other guy or like some antagonist, then he can have that support system. And the thing is that even that wouldn't fix it, because like the thing about Gentaro is that he is like essentially a flawless character. Like he is that flawless kind of character. He doesn't really make, like, he messes up, but like he doesn't have emotional turmoil. He doesn't have demons to overcome. He is that like paragon of a character that everybody else rallies around because he's like that. That's why the show works as it does. Iki's problems don't work if that's what you were trying to do. So I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But if you were to delete the other two family riders, at least you would be able to solve the problem of Iki not having relationships that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because when everybody's a common rider, they all have to have their own thing, and they can't just play backup to Iki. Because then why are they here?
Yeah. And if they're perfectly competent on their own, then why is Iki here?
Yeah, which they are perfectly competent on their own.
Yeah.
What makes
him the main rider?
What does make Iki the protagonist? Nothing does. I think we've said this a million times, but ultimately there is nothing to distinguish Iki as the character that is deserving. Like, narratively wise, I think that you, like, not even just a common rider, in general, you have to justify who your protagonist is. If it's the main protagonist, the leader of a group, you know, whatever. If it's your Red Ranger, you have to justify why he deserves to be the Red Ranger. What makes him special enough that he's the first guy? You know, he goes first in the roll call. What makes him special enough to justify that? You know, they did that in Kira Major. They had a whole arc about it, like, twice.
Yeah.
They did it like 2 times in a row. You know, fucking what makes Optimus Prime? Like, what makes him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm speaking. Like, what makes Optimus Prime worthy of being Optimus Prime? You know, what makes him worthy of being the Transformer?
What sets him apart from everybody else?
Yeah,
because, like, obviously, a bunch of these guys are like bunch of characters are like good at stuff and competent and like complex and interesting, whatever else.
Yeah.
But like the main guy has to have that thing that makes him the core of the narrative.
Because then you get to the point where we are like in Revice, where people, I mean, we heard this all the time, this whole time, people like Sakura is the real main character. Sakura is more interesting. This show should be about Sakura, not because she is more interesting.
She is.
You know, Sakura earned that right to be the most interesting character on the screen during the points when the show was focusing on her. Iki never. Really... I don't think anybody would really agree that Iki has ever earned that right, except for Agumon is right. What did make Iki special in the beginning was that he was willing and able to be Revice when Daiji wasn't willing and Hiromi wasn't able.
Yeah, that's it.
But past that, it never really developed anything.
No, because Sakura went through a whole thing where she actually had to like emotionally earn being a Kamen Rider at all.
Yeah.
Which is good. That's good when that happens. I like it. It's good both ways because Iki just jumping in the heat of the moment and then having to live with the consequences. That's good because that's literally what Kuga does. And it's also fine when they want to be a rider and have to actually work to earn it. But like, I know the whole memory loss thing, but Iki really hasn't actually had to live with the consequences of that moment's decision. He just did it once, and then it's kind of just been normal. And then it turns out he's losing his memories. Yeah. And at that point, he's sort of just like, well, clocking in for another shift at the sunk cost factory.
Yeah, all right, let me catch up on chat, because you guys had some things to say.
Oh, yeah.
I think they can still be writers, but they did play up the big brother angle better and deal with the resentment that they originally set up. Yeah, I think a lot of Revice's issues stem from his incompetence as a token writer and the experience of dealing with the toys and the mandates. Yeah, I mean, that is definitely true, both of those points. And also Rob saying they needed to do something with Vice representing his inner feelings. That is definitely, in my opinion, the biggest narrative retcon of Revice, is that they were definitely setting up that Vice represented something about Iki's psyche that he was repressing. You know, the fact that it tried to attack his mom, I guess Vice isn't it now. That Vice tried to kill his mom, eat his mom, whatever. And there was the episode early on when Vice like tempted one of the Monster of the Week guys to doing it again or something. I barely remember that because it was even honestly weirdly out of character for Vice back then. You don't remember that because you didn't even watch it. Do you guys remember that? There was an episode really early on with like the golf guy where Vice, like, I don't know, tempted the caddy to using the stamp again or something. I don't really remember. But like there was a lot of early stuff in Vice about episode 2. Yeah, like I said, it's been a long time. It feels like it's been 10 fucking years ago. But like there was a lot of stuff early in the show with Iki. I can't trust Vice. You know, if you fucking try anything, I'll kill myself.
Yeah.
I'll let myself get beat to death if you fuck around. Like, but it's clearly that they retconned Vice being, you know, a representation of something about Iki, which is, I think, the moment that they took Iki's character out and shot it in the back.
Yep.
You know, when they yeah, you know, maybe it is Toei saying like we need Vice to chill out. Maybe it's another instance where Vice tested too positively with the audience, so they couldn't. They felt trapped not going forward with whatever they were planning on originally. You know, the Woz factor.
Yeah, which I'm so sick of.
I can't prove that one. That's something I absolutely can't prove.
But I really, really wouldn't be surprised if it's something like it happens in. It's obvious enough with some guys like Hiromi, George, all of these guys. Well, this happens.
Hiromi was the Stacy factor.
Hiromi was the Stacy factor. That's right. And but then he got his own spin-off.
Yeah.
So There was some of that as well.
You know,
I'm tired of it.
you know that
Goku, I'm tired.
We've definitely codified these things. There's the Waz effect and there's the Stacy effect. If a character that is a character that is initially implied, that is initially meant to be evil or is going to betray them or is intended to be a villain, has their arc hastily rewritten because they tested it too positively with viewers, or the Stacy effect, which is when a character who was never going to matter or even exist in the first place tested so high with the crew that they rewrote the show to keep him in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Hiromi was supposed to die in fucking episode 1. He was just supposed to be some fucking guy who was supposed to try to use the Revice driver and get killed by his own demon.
Which would have been pretty fine, to be honest.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
At this point, and then Stacy, of course, was never even meant to exist at all. It's the Shonen Jump character pulse. It's exactly what it is. It's the Shonen Jump character pulse.
Really, the Waz effect should be the Ankh effect.
Did that happen to Ankh? Was that a rewrite? It has to be a rewrite.
I think it was. I don't know. It's been a minute since I heard this, but I seem to recall that Ankh was definitely going to be.
I've heard that, but I've never seen
I don't know if
proof of that.
No, I can believe it though.
People just say whatever the fuck. I
don't know.
True, I feel like
maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
What is something someone else said that I wanted to say?
I can believe that people really liked him more than they were expecting.
Yeah.
I can definitely believe that, because he is a massive dickhead all the time.
Oh, thoughts on Iki's memory loss? I hate it. I mean, I don't want to sugarcoat it
it's
too
bad.
much, but it's such a lame plot. It makes me feel nothing. It just kind of annoys me.
It's the same beat over and over again.
Well, you were saying I didn't read the whole thing. I get the feeling it's supposed to represent the more you fight, the more you lose yourself. I can see that. Like, I can see that working. Like, that would be a good thing to work. It doesn't really come off like that to me. Maybe it does to you, to someone else, and I'm not saying necessarily that that's wrong or like a bad interpretation. It doesn't feel like that to me necessarily, because it doesn't. The two don't necessarily feel connected. It seems like, I feel like if they wanted to do that with the way that this show is written, they wouldn't be that subtle about it. This episode, they literally said, Iki losing his memories is a consequence of having a contract with a demon. That's just what happens. That's what Kagero said. That's just what happens when you have a demon. A bad thing happens, I guess. Except for Sakura. Or Daiji. Or their dad. Well, I guess that's true for him. Vale was fucked up. But like, I feel like if they wanted to show a case of violence makes you lose yourself, I feel like the way that violence is portrayed in the show would be a lot different. Like, fighting in Kuga is a show that has a theme that violence makes you lose yourself, and the way that violence is portrayed in Kuga you can visually reflect that theme in the choreography of the show. But in Revice, it's the same violence as any other Kamen Rider violence, where it's huge and flashy and awesome and cool.
Yeah, I think it's very generous to read any Reiwa Rider show as having themes in that way, to be honest.
No, the theme of violence being dehumanizing, I don't know.
No, I really don't think they like.
It would be interesting if they did that.
Like, I don't think to address themes for the last few years, at least. I mean, Build had themes, right? Decidedly. You couldn't say Geo has themes.
Geo had themes. We just don't understand them.
We don't. They were themes for a higher intelligence to comprehend. And having watched almost all 01, I couldn't tell you what, if any, its themes were.
The theme was that capitalism sucks. no matter how much you like the CEO of a company that makes fucking labor force
living
robots.
people. Yeah.
We're not gonna get into that.
No, we're not gonna get into that. But yeah, I don't.
Actually, the theme of 01 was that the cycle of revenge is bad.
That's right. Okay, it did.
But it pivoted.
Quite
it pivoted that because that was the theme at the end. Like that was the thesis statement for the end of the show. But there was definitely that point where we were seriously considering like the liberation of Humagears. And then we just kind of threw that out the window and then made Humagears riding like a bad thing. And then we just forgot that they're people. Easy. Do you remember in the movie when the first secretary of Humagear turned evil because the fucking grandpa he then wouldn't pay him?
He was like, shouldn't we get paid for our labor?
And he was like no, you don't. You're not people. You don't get paid. And he's like, okay, I'm going to kill you now. That was insane. That was never addressed in the show, but like at any point was it addressed that was like a really, really fucked up thing that came out of his mouth.
Weird.
I mean, and also you like I don't want it like obviously this isn't meant to be read like this, so I don't want to like harp on it, but Aruto doesn't pay them either, I don't think.
He doesn't, no. Izu is not paid for her services, his contractually obligated friend.
Like, I don't want to harp on this or like hold it against the show because obviously this isn't the point, and you're not supposed to think about this too hard.
Yeah.
Which is why it's unfortunate that the movie brought that up because you can't ignore it. But like, Humagears don't get paid or have choices. No, we can't talk about this. We're not talking about this.
No, we can't talk about this. No, the point was, I don't think Revice would tell you, and I think the ending episode is gonna do the 01 thing, where it like says very clearly with like there's gonna be a theme in the last episode, and it would allege that the theme throughout has been family.
Oh, right.
This is allegedly a show about family.
Yeah.
In various different ways and forms, and you can point to evidence.
The funniest part of the show was when the Geistman said Daiji was his son.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
What an out of hat thing that happened.
Why did they do that? When he stroked his hair like that? Oh,
what an absolutely unbelievable sequence of events that episode was.
Fucking amazing. I miss Akashi so bad.
I really miss him. We really underestimated how much he was carrying the show.
It was kind of immediate, I think.
Like fucking Atlas.
Oh, carrying the whole world on his shoulders. It was like a light switch when as soon as he was dead.
The way that he died, Daiji still kept doing shit.
Oh, Daiji killed him just to start doing the shit he was doing, but less interestingly.
No room for middle management.
Fuck it.
Okay.
You're clocking out.
Agumon was saying the issue with that idea was that if it was the case, we'd see the effects like every other case of Iki losing memories has been I forgot a thing. His personality never changed. Yeah, I think just him forgetting things isn't much of a thing as it is to like if his actual personality was changing, but he never had one in the first place.
Yeah, it's kind of the big problem.
I get the feeling that he did have a lot of ideas. Yeah, it really does. I really do think that this is a case of over-ambition under skill.
Yeah.
I think that the writer definitely had some strong ideas of what he wanted to do. I don't think he was able to flesh them out. We've talked about this before. He is a novel writer by trade.
Yes.
You know, when you write a novel, you don't have a toy company fucking holding a gun to your neck telling you that you have to put the Juga driver in this episode. You know?
Yeah.
He's not used to having to write around mandates and rewrites and such a fast pace. I don't think... Somebody asked earlier, would I be interested if he came back? I don't suspect he will.
No, I think this has probably been a pretty unpleasant experience on his end. Not like awful, I don't think it's been like particularly horrible for him, but I think just the process has not agreed with him at all.
I don't
It
see why
doesn't
I
feel
don't
like he's
couldn't
taken
see
to
why
it.
Toei would want him back either.
No,
I can
don't
assume that
think this
everybody
has
will
been
shake
very
hands
strong
at the end
work.
of this and go, thanks for you know,
Yeah, I
thanks for
think
the
it'll be.
opportunity. I will be not coming back.
Yeah, I think it's all been pretty amicable. Just it's quite clear this isn't.
This is
At
not
least
a
right
good
now, this is
match.
not a fit for him.
Maybe he'll come back.
If he
I feel
if
like
he does more TV, that's like a little bit fucking easier
like-
to manage.
I feel like everybody
he
gets a
could
second
probably-
chance these days,
Yeah.
no matter how underperforming their show was.
Mm.
And then some of them squander that second chance, like Saber, when he fucked off for the entire last arc of the entire show.
Awesome.
What a legend.
Amazing. I forget every time that happened because I can't believe.
So maybe he'll be back. Rob was saying, yeah, he didn't have to write. You don't have to write a novel week to week. You know, I mean, you have deadlines
Yeah.
to hit, but not like that.
Not like
think he
you have to
would-
have a whole thing finished and
I
ready
mean,
to go.
I really feel like this guy got a raw deal.
It
Like,
kind of
it
seems.
really feels like Bandai is just jerking him around.
It definitely feels like he's just not.
You know, maybe he just doesn't have the. You know, maybe he doesn't have the balls to tell, you know, put his foot down and say, look, this is the show, I need to write the show. Or if, you know, he doesn't have the authority, I mean, he's a new guy, you know. He probably doesn't have he doesn't have the pedigree to back up when, you know, when Inoue tells them to fuck off, they listen because it's Inoue. You know, he doesn't have a pedigree. I mean, he can't really, he's not in a position to tell Toei to fuck off.
No,
You know,
and I feel
he
this
probably
is pure
had to
speculation.
scrap for everything he even got that he wanted.
Yeah, and I feel like this is pure speculation
It is.
it is on my part, but I wouldn't be surprised if part of the reason the rewrites have felt so like fucking gear shift in every direction. It's probably not uncommon for these kind of changes to happen in some capacity, and writers who are more experienced with it likely leave things a little more open
Yeah.
early on, just in case this happens. It's probably, I mean, there's no reason you would think to do that without having this happen, but I feel like probably for not having the experience, he just didn't afford himself the slack that if things did have to go in a radically different direction, like shit was fairly locked in a lot of ways and then just had to change quite unnaturally quite a few times immediately, and it kind of feels like there just wasn't really the provision made for that being something that could happen, which I imagine is a consequence of just not having worked in the genre before.
Yeah, head producer's first time with the writer's show. That makes a lot. It's just
It's
baffling that they would put so many newbies
on what is allegedly the 50th anniversary.
Like I said, I really do.
They don't
truly,
give a
I
shit.
truly, I believe that truly, I believe that Toei just did not care.
No, it's
they
weird.
just
I
phoned-
think
they just phoned this year in. You know, it's whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we did just have Gio.
I mean, maybe they tried to. Maybe they did try to course correct. I don't know. It just feels like it's either that it was just a breakdown or just nobody cared.
I feel like there was not a lot of care given to it. I mean, there's not even that much on the shelves to sell, so the usual kind of like you have to make it look good in a way that matters because it's like out there on the front lines like that. It's not really like, you know, premium Bandai stuff. There's a guaranteed audience of people who are always going to buy it, no matter fucking what. You know, there's like P Bandai just caters to a very different crowd than DX retail because it suddenly only has to consider adults, and you just don't like, you know, for a lot of people they will just buy what the fuck ever, really.
Yeah, it really feels like it's hard as hell to get a first. What Bunny is saying, it feels like it's impossible for a first time writer to come out with a successful outing.
Yeah, I feel like he hasn't been dealt any favors.
No, he really was dealt a bad hand, and I'm sure he's trying his best. It just isn't.
Yeah, it's definitely not for lack of trying that all this is going on, for sure. Really quite unfortunate, but there was a Juga.
There was a Juga.
I'm so done with this show.
Yeah,
not to just come right out and say it, but
I've said it 100 times. There's only so
I'm
many
exhausted.
times that we can just pick
exhausted.
this show apart and be like, this is why it's not working. This is what's not working.
Yeah.
How have we not said enough? I feel like we're just repeating ourselves every week.
It's because it's just doing the same thing every week. We can only really respond to what it gives us.
No, BZ, technically, that's Neo Bata. The Bata stamp is based on Ichigo, and it came out with the first run of the driver.
Yeah, and they never used it.
They never used it in the show, that's true.
Oh, that's no, it's Demon's thing,
uses
isn't it? Yeah.
Because
but
he uses the
they never used it as a remix.
He uses the Showa stamps.
Huh. All 4 of them.
Bata.
Mogura. In relation to build being so good, I'm given to understand, although again this is just something I've heard, that's because the guys writing for that busted fucking ass to make sure it was good, right?
Yeah, maximum effort.
It was like, I'm given to understand that they were like fucking calling each other up every couple of minutes just to make sure they were all on the same page, like going way beyond what is like expected in that position to make sure it was as fucking good as they possibly could.
Build was a miracle, truly.
Build was seriously a miracle. It's not gonna happen.
Build is in my opinion on the same level as Kuga in just that it is impossible to replicate that.
You just couldn't do it again.
You know,
probably nor should you, because I think they tried. Probably a fucking hell of a process to make that happen.
Yeah.
Like really probably quite hard to actually do that from a human perspective. There was, I don't doubt, a real physical cost to putting in that much effort to write a weekly show that good.
Yeah.
I think most people, I would even say probably rightly, don't want to do that when you don't have to. It takes a very driven, motivated kind of person with a really, a story they really want to tell to make that kind of thing happen.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who write for Toku just aren't going to be like that, which is no disrespect to them at all. It's not ordinary to be like that. No, it's not required at all. As has been evidenced by the fact that, Gio was the very next year and performed fine and sold better. So you really don't need to try that hard. You liked Kabuto.
He liked Kabuto. That's all. That's all I got.
Yeah.
We're 1 week closer to no more Guga. No more Juga.
No more Juga. That's it. We're gonna get what, 3 weeks total of Juga? Two.
Well, yeah, 3. 47, 48, 49. Then, do you think they'll kill George?
I feel like not. We haven't killed anyone in this show.
They killed Akashi.
They killed Akaishi. That's it. The one guy they've killed, which is fucked. They didn't even kill Alteka.
That has to be setting up something.
That has to be.
They actually brought him back on the set.
On the set, they got him in there. And for what? Why?
It has to be.
I don't understand. That's one of those ones where I don't get it.
Movie.
It's gotta be.
It has to be setting up for a V-Sim.
The Dead Man's V-Sim.
No, wait, was he in the movie that just came out? Did he die in that?
I think he was in the movie, was he?
I'm not looking it up right now.
No, fuck him.
But the timeline checks out.
He
was brought back right before the movie.
Yeah. I'm so mad at Decade for making Sensei and Ryder finish at asynchronous times, because it means that we can never stop doing this without it being really complicated and kind of weird, because there's always going to be a superhero time show we're watching.
We just gotta cut it
fucking
we just
losses.
gotta cut our losses and just stop. When Donbrothers is done, we're just done.
That's like we just don't start watching Geats.
Yeah.
It's the Donbrothers show until it's over, and then that's it.
This is gonna
the lights are off.
Eventually, this
again.
program is gonna have an unhappy ending someday.
It's
like one way or another.
There really is only so much tokusatsu you can watch week to week, every single week.
Eventually, this segment of this stream will have an unhappy ending. We're ticking towards it. It's just like every Kamen Rider show. Eventually we will die, I guess.
Eventually we'll lose all our memories.
I don't know.
There will be a final boss for Superhero Time Tuesdays, and I don't know where it is, but if it's going to be... The thing is that we are going into an era in the next couple of weeks where we are watching...
an anime show and a Takahashi show.
Yes, which is perhaps the least appealing thing you could possibly pitch.
On paper.
On paper, that's as bad as it gets for me. That's like the worst.
Yay! What? I can't see that. Fuck.
Oh, is it behind?
It's behind everything. Hold on.
Oh, no, I haven't got mod stuff either.
No, it wouldn't show up in the mod stuff. It's a Streamlabs thing.
Oh, okay.
I just have to check Streamlabs.
Onated.
I couldn't see the person or the money.
Oh, no. Dollars from Jared.
Dollars from Jared. Who just onated? Oh, B Machine, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much for $5. I really appreciate that. Why is that? Okay, that won't happen again. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, Taco Tuesdays is fun. I mean, we do.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, if we stop watching Kamen Rider, we have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, that's the thing. There would be no After V1. That segment would not be necessary.
Would die. We would just watch. I mean, if Geats is so unbearable that we have to drop it, we might as well just start watching Donbrothers in the Discord and not even do it on here.
Yeah.
Because we'll just be like, wow, that was a crazy episode of Donbrothers. Bye.
Done. Yeah.
There's not enough meat to talk about.
It really isn't. You need Kamen Rider, because God bless it, it does try. And it's always interesting to talk about its aspirations, even if it doesn't work.
Talking about
that was very dour. I didn't mean it to sound
children.
that down. Yeah.
This is a show that sells toys to children.
This is a show that sells toys to children.
We talk about Donbrothers. It's just like we've actually had segments where we've taken about an hour to talk about Sentai or Donbrothers. I mean, a lot of the times, like the last couple of weeks, we've talked about Inoue's. It's always Inoue we talk about more than anything else. We've talked about Inoue's. Like last week, I think we spent about an hour talking about how it kind of annoys me that there's things that Inoue refuses to care about.
Yeah,
you can tell when he's invested and when he's not.
I've talked at length about how he doesn't really ever try and unite the aspects of tokusatsu as character drama and superhero stuff, even a little bit.
Nope, he never tries if he doesn't want to.
No, which I did think, by the way, because Agito crossed my mind. I was like, oh yeah, for like most of the show, Shoichi and Agito are entirely unrelated.
He doesn't even talk as Agito. It's freaky.
He doesn't even talk as Agito. He gets possessed.
It's
by
freaky.
Agito.
It's freaky, except that eventually it gets boring.
Yeah, because then it's like, well, this isn't a character.
The way that Agito's body language is when he's Agito is freaky. Like, now we're talking about Agito, which is not Super Sentai, but like in those for most of the show, but like those points when his fucking like unknown radar goes off and he just stops being Shoichi. And he just like when he just like snap, like when that it's like a sound effect and everything too, right?
Yeah.
When he just senses an unknown and he just stops being Shoichi, It's freaky.
Mm.
Like it's good.
weird.
It's well. He acts it well.
Yeah, it's really like actually quite impressive for how much of a goof Shoichi is. How well the actor can just switch off like that.
Yeah, I mean, eventually he does start talking and actually they actually like blend the two into like an actual single character. But for the I would say majority of the show, like in terms of like actual episode length, Agito is a different thing that he is. You know, it's Agito is an instinct, not a character. It's like he's compelled to do it, which is interesting, and it kind of mirrors the way that Godai doesn't talk as Kuga.
Yeah,
it really come to think of it, he pretty much doesn't speak in the suit, does he?
No,
not a whole lot of it, if really at all. I can't.
If at all, yeah.
I can't particularly think of any examples where he speaks in the suit. He talks sometimes. I think he does talk sometimes, but it's very rare. He's not having conversations as Kuga.
No,
but I think that's really to it's something that those early Toku did. He needs to coordinate with the police when transformed. I feel like really the talking is them, and he just listens. Like, I mean, even like that iconic scene like episode 5 where they're still not sure if Kuga's a good guy or not. And instead of trying to explain himself, he just gives the thumbs up and walks away.
Yeah.
That's all you need. He doesn't need to talk. He doesn't talk. I feel like in those shows maybe they sort of got an idea in their heads that if he talks it kind of ruins the mystery, like the mystique of Kuga. And Agito too. I mean, obviously he does talk sometimes, and like. But like I feel like they were in Kuga and Agito, they were definitely going for a sort of a separation, much more literally in Agito. But like there's Godai and there's Kuga. When he's Kuga, he's not quite himself.
Yeah.
In a way, I think it really puts that sort of like being Kuga could cause you to lose yourself into perspective kind of thing. But like. And not like necessarily saying that's better or not, but like it worked in that case. I don't think it would work with most like writers now.
No.
But for Kuga and Agito, like the mystique of the writer is amplified by the lack of talking as the actual writer. Godai talks enough. Shoichi talks enough. Kuga doesn't need to talk. Agito doesn't need to talk.
By the way, speaking of Agito, that reminded me because I've been watching the Bandai videos on the Geats belt.
No, you haven't.
I'm just gonna say this, and because I've run this by Voss, and he had the same opinion. There's a sound effect that happens after both the things are on, that is like alarmingly, distractingly familiar, and I want to know if you have the same response to it.
I didn't really pay attention enough to have a. I'll have to.
Oh, I sent you. I sent you.
Let's go.
A little short of the. It's not the normal one, but it's just the quickest way to get to the specific sound. It's after both the things are on and before he does any of the actions.
All right, let's see. Silent Mystery was Gem's thing for a bit. That's literally true. I forgot he did that.
Funny
guy. If this video would load, that would be cool. Like, can I? Sorry, that was really loud. Oh, that does sound like the fucking. That does sound like the summoning noise for the what's it called?
The
triple flasher.
The triple.
That's not what it's called.
Altar ring.
The altar ring. It does sound like the altar ring.
Weird. I've gone and listened to them next to each other, and it's not the same, but it sounds so fucking like it, and that's gonna jump scare me every time it happens in Geats.
That's weird.
Because that's the Agito belt sound.
That is weird. That is the Agito belt sound. That's weird.
I don't know why you would make a noise like that. You're presumably going to hear a fair bit that sounds that similar to maybe one of the more kind of iconic little
Agito?
sound mixes like that. I think maybe it's just me, but I think that sound is like very distinct from just about anything
You're
else.
sick in the head. I mean,
I
it
don't
is,
know.
but nobody
It's
watched that shit.
Nobody watched that
If
show.
Gem
It's
comes
like
back in Geats, I will hold everybody in this chat responsible for that.
yes.
I will quit.
And
That will be when we quit.
I was gonna say, actually, if Dan Kuroto is in Geats,
For more than like a minute. If they're like, and this is the new,
I'm hardline on this.
this is the new boss.
If he has a cameo, that's one thing.
If he's
on like
a supplementary material or whatever, but if he's like, this is a main character, he's gonna be in every episode, I'm done.
In the show, that's it. Like the second, like, oh, by the way, here's Gear Dan Kuroto in the show.
And they play that fucking Gem music, bum, bum, I'm like done.
I walk. I keep it real with you, boss. I'm not coming back.
I keep it 100%. I'm not fucking doing that.
I'm not coming back. You're getting my notice in the mail.
They pull a juggler with Dan the Man.
Oh God! Imagine. What if they make him like the commentator for the fucking Desire Grand Prix? Fuck, I'm trying to think what the worst way for him to sneak up on us would be.
I had to just listen to him fucking narrate every fight like it's Geki Ranger.
Oh God! In that delivery that he has.
I feel like if they were gonna put Dan the Man,
I feel like there's no way Takahashi couldn't tell you about that. He loves that fucking guy.
Like if they were gonna put Dan the Man, and he'd be front and center. I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know, but maybe not, because I feel like that might, like, you got to give the people a chance to be interested in the new cast. Which, good job.
Yeah, I don't know, because I was thinking like they did that with Juggler. He was literally like,
it's
announced
true, but
in the first cast listing, he was announced.
Yeah, Super Eye's insane.
They were funny as hell for that.
They were so fucking. They buried the lead on that a good bit.
That was funny.
Like
that was
it
really
was
a time.
while.
That was literally a time that we just can't get back to, where every week we were just on the edge of our seats trying to figure out if he was Juggler or not.
Just amazing.
It took like what 4 or 5 episodes
I think it was episode
hard confirmation that he is Juggler.
Yeah, I think it was like episode 6.
It was a couple weeks in. It was like long enough.
Yeah, it took a while.
It was just long enough that it didn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah, like
to be like,
they were hinting at it very, very early on.
Yeah.
Like with that whole training thing they did where he just disappeared.
Yeah.
He used fucking blink teleport.
Jugs. Episode 4. Yeah, it's been a while. I wouldn't remember, but it was like within the first 5 or so.
Yeah, the Juggler's Juggler was going to be in the show.
Juggler form. Whatever the fuck that
so
loser shit is called.
Fucked. Mac Tonight looking
motherfucker.
Can't stand that guy. I got over it.
Get out. I like how we said that was it, and then we're still going.
Yeah.
So we started talking about Juggler.
We started talking about Agito, then we started talking about Juggler. What a fucking
that was
we were trying to talk about how we talk about Sentai, now we're talking about Ultraman.
That really was a moment you can't get back. Was us spending those 4 weeks desperately trying to figure out is he Juggler?
Did they mean it? Because
even
when they were dropping hints, it was like, are they just fucking with us? Cause
yeah, fucking with us because we know.
Like we know this is Juggler's Juggler, but is that a thing for the show, or are they just playing with you?
They should have done that. They should have done that in Build, where they just fuck with you. Like,
God,
is it Otoya?
Oh my God! How fucking insane would that have been if they'd actually been like, by the way, secretly, he fucking turns into Dark Kiva.
But it was like, but it's not Otoya. Is it? They just fuck with you. He's like, no, it's not. By the way.
Yeah, no. Like he plays a violin really well, just as a hobby, just for fun. And it's like,
and he just pulls out his fucking like birth certificate, and it's like clearly not, clearly not.
Yeah, no way.
They did do that joke in the movie.
They did do that joke in the movie. That was fucking silly.
It was funny as hell. You know, you look like Otoya from Kiva. What the fuck?
Like it's kind of
what the fuck
Yeah,
did you say
like-
to me?
what?
What?
You're like, yeah, it's kind of surprising that you're Grease from Build. Like, I'd figure you'd be a Toya from Kiva.
He said,
What?
the fuck did you say to me?
While they're sitting at the back of a
They're
bus.
sitting in the back of a bus. I like that they did that. Like, he didn't really mention the actor.
Yeah.
Even though Kamen Rider is, that's my favorite part about when you do that kind of thing is like, oh, Kamen Rider. Like the point of the movie was Kamen Rider is fictional. In that kid's world, Kamen Rider is a TV show, right?
Yeah.
But they don't talk about like actors or anything. Like there's never a point where they have to acknowledge that in their world they're being portrayed by actors.
Yeah, that those people are real.
That those people are real who are portraying them on television. It's just, it's just in like as if like they're in their world, other realities are being televised or something.
Yeah,
because like if
there's
you
no
because I
implication
think the thing is that if you go that far with it, it does actually like I think it does break your suspension of disbelief.
Yeah,
you can be like, yeah, okay, Kamen Rider is fictional in their world, like that, like on a surface level, like yeah, that gets it. Kamen Rider is fictional in our world too. But then if you start talking about like this is the actor who plays Build, it's like, wait, I'm looking at actors on the screen, right? Like then you're like, wait, this isn't real. They're acting.
Yeah, these are actors. This is pretend.
Except they literally did that in that one Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
How? Okay.
I mean, what else are you gonna like? What else?
No. No, I know, but like, I didn't react to it very much when we did the thing where we both made the Seventh Doctor connection, like in a second. But I was waiting.
You're waiting for an opportunity to talk about Last Action Hero?
To mention Last Action Hero. I was like, yeah, the one time I did that, and it was the one time I can think of him doing that is when his character meets Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie. Oh god!
I think the funniest bit in that movie was the Terminator poster that they had, but it was Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone. Fuck, that was so fun.
Fucking stupid. What a dumbass movie.
And the kid takes him to the video store, like trying to find evidence of Arnold Schwarzenegger existing in their world. And he's like, look, he's like Terminator 2, and he's like, wait. And like his character's like, yeah, it's one of Stallone's best roles.
And you're like, fuck you.
Like, yes, it fucking Terminator 2. It's like Sylvester Stallone's famous for it, and the kid's like, this is all fucked up.
Fuck.
What are you talking
They
about?
really just did any old thing back then.
I was just thinking about Last Action Hero the other day because there's like, I had to go and get a screenshot from it to make a really stupid fucking joke.
I can't really tell you the last time I've thought about Last Action fucking Hero.
I know. I don't even remember why. It was just one bit that was in my head after something happened. I was like, I could make this into a joke that only I will laugh
I can make
at.
this into a Last Action Hero reference.
I can instead of writing a post about something that happened to me in a normal way, I'll just fucking make a Last Action Hero.
I can make a Last Action Hero joke that 4 people who've ever seen the movie will get.
Oh, yep.
Who can remember enough about Last Action Hero to be like, oh yeah, that's funny.
That's a funny one.
We need an Arnold movie night. Yeah, but what's the best Arnold movie to watch?
What is? Because it's kind of.
I mean, we could watch like Terminator or whatever, but like, I feel like our movie nights have to have a certain amount of like cheese to them.
It has to be. Yeah, it has.
Have we actually watched a good movie yet? TMNT is a good movie, like actually.
TMNT is actually a good movie,
but it's still like dumb.
It's got to be something that you really can't take that seriously. I think. It's got to be a hard.
Commando. That's it. Commando. I love
God,
Commando.
Yes.
It's got to be Commando. I love Commando. I haven't seen that movie in years. The movie's great. Stupid as fuck. The Dungeon. No, I haven't watched that. It's got what? No, it doesn't. Shut up. Why do you know everything like this? I'll just be saying any old thing, or I'll be like, by the way, that's got fucking so and so from goddamn whatever.
Yeah.
It's got some fucking obscure Power Rangers actor. If we watch a good movie on Queen's server, exactly. We could watch.
I still haven't recovered from us watching Street Fighter. That was fucking so
Electric
good.
Bunker.
Electric Bunker Sub-Zero.
Is it really? Man, it's been a long ass time I've seen that movie. I did not know that. To be
No
honest with you.
fucking way. Oh!
No.
Yeah, I see that now you say it.
No, we'll have to put it on the. Well, it's not what we're watching this month or this week.
No.
We're watching.
Which one
Watching
movie
36
this month?
Chambers this week.
Ah.
Unless I decide to change my mind.
Genuinely, I've been a changed person since
The Street
they
Fighter.
bust out the fucking Hadouken out of nowhere. When that happened, I went crazy in real life.
You've done movies that Arnold watched me to Power Rangers. I was like, I don't know. I mean, is Commando really that better of a fucking film than Time Force? It's Commando.
It's not really up there, is it?
How good can it be? It's the Dollar Tree. Thoughts on Futu PI? I've only seen episode 1 so far. My thoughts are that it's fine. The
That's what
voice
I'm
acting is really growing on me, to be honest. I really thought it would be a problem. But it's been long enough since I've watched Double that I don't really like, it doesn't bug me really as much. Like, I think that Shotaro does a good job. I think that Philip does a fine job. I think hearing them in the game was also helpful too. I did see the henshin from episode 2. I thought it looked good. I'm glad that they're.
Yep.
I mean, I like that people were like, I don't know, happy or surprised or commenting on that they used the original sound effects from the Double Driver. Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? What did you think they were gonna do? Not do that? Re-record new sound, like re-record a new voice actor for the Double Driver?
That would be insane.
Nah, son, they own those videos. They own those clips, bro. Did you see
That's
though
it.
that they're reissuing the CSM?
The CSM belt 1.5.
They're reissuing the 1.5 with the anime voice actors.
Funny.
Yeah.
So fucking funny for that.
Yeah, they're reissuing the 1.5. I wonder if did CSM do Fang?
They must have.
I don't
you
know.
couldn't not do
Well,
Fang.
Fang isn't included in the set, but I wonder if they'll reissue Fang
do it
when it
separately.
comes out in the anime. I wonder if I wonder if they will make Extreme. I don't think there is a CSM Extreme.
No, I don't think there is. I wouldn't know, admittedly. I don't pay a huge amount of attention to CSM stuff.
No. The anime CSM is cool though. I mean, it's nice that they're putting that much stock into these actors and this anime.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I guess you do have to do something a bit more long term at this point because it's seemingly just understood that they're not coming back.
Shoto's actor would like to come back.
Yeah,
He used to always pick up the phone by himself.
Yeah,
there's like more appearances of Joker than there is of Double in like movies after a certain point. Like of actual actor roles.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know. I don't know what he's doing now.
Nah. It's so funny that Philip is just inaccessible.
Nope, he is gone forever. We're never getting him back.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
I wonder if they'll reissue some other shit when Axel shows up in the anime. Like, there's a lot of like they could really take advantage of this. They could drop the fucking figurized standard. They could reissue the figurized standard Axel in the figurized Axel in the standard line. He probably would like to come back, but there's no fucking way they can afford it, fortunately. I've seen a lot of people who are into Futopia and not seen Double and are confused by stuff, and Ted have said there's no easy way to watch Double proper. There is a very easy way to watch Double. It's called BitTorrent.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It is unfortunate that they fucking dropped the ball on this really hard. That there is no official English release of Double when they had all this time that they could have pushed it out before the anime started airing, because that anime was announced last year. They
were testing the water, you know.
It's fucking Double.
I know.
Yeah, I mean
they've been testing the water for 4 fucking years.
Gavan is coming out though. God bless.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Did you not hear about that?
Gavin?
Yeah, Space Chef Gavin's getting an
Uchu
English release.
Keiji?
Yeah, Space Chef Gavin's getting an English release. Not from the people who are doing the Common Writer stuff. It's another company. It's the people who did.
Okay.
It's the people who did fucking Cutie Honey the Live's English release.
Cutie Honey the Live had an English release?
Apparently, that's what Rob tells me. And I think they did Just Beyond or some other Metal Hero.
Just Beyond?
Somebody will tell me in a second.
Whatever.
Somebody will tell me in a second. 01 is getting an American comic book. It's weird.
It is. That is really weird.
It's weird that they're pushing 01 so
Why
hard.
the fuck would you do that?
I mean, I get why they would push 01 because 01 was at the 01 was airing when they started doing this push.
Yeah.
01 was the first currently airing show to have toys on Bluefin, which, by the way, isn't called Bluefin anymore.
No.
Yeah, it's not. Look, it's called Bluefin. It's now called. I believe it is now called something else. Oh, it's now called Bandai Collect.
Oh.
Yeah, they stopped calling it Bluefin. I think it was this year. Yeah, the official account of Bandai Namco Collectibles, formerly Bluefin brand. I guess because I have to imagine that the reason they did this was the reason that I didn't actually realize that Bluefin was a branch of Bandai Namco.
No, I guess I didn't either.
Like, I knew that they were a supplier for Bandai Namco. I didn't know that they were actually incorporated under Bandai. Like, I didn't know that they were a part of Bandai Namco because Bandai Namco's name is nowhere in their name. So I imagine that they renamed it to make sure that Bandai is in the title, so you would know that it's fucking Bandai.
Yeah. Thanks.
Did I see the shit that Jason David Frank did? Do I want to know? I don't know what I don't. Do I want to know? Discotheque. Yeah, that's Discotheque. That's who's doing it.
Oh, you know what I saw in the fucking no.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Good
for
fucking
him.
yes.
Bitch.
Oh. We're all free at last. No more. That's fucking funny. Oh right, because I was thinking of JDF and I thought of Power Rangers. I saw the Power Rangers release of the Ryusoken today.
That actually came out.
It was like $35. It has a color changing blade. Was its gimmick?
Like it has like lights in it.
Yeah, but it's got like a scanner on the bottom to change colors, which is weird. I don't quite get how that works. I couldn't quite make sense of it. Also, I was really confused because you pull the trigger and the lights come on, and then I was like, well, obviously you then pull the trigger again to make sword noises, because that is how we understand these things to go in Toku, and that turns it off.
Okay.
I was stood there in the fucking toy aisle reading the packaging, like, what the fuck is going on with this? And you pull the trigger, and then it's motion activated to make the noises.
That's great, I guess.
It's weird. And there's like a little 3 colored thing on the bottom, and you like press it against stuff, and it like changes color in response to that. I couldn't get it to work, and I was looking like an asshole holding this fucking sword.
That's weird.
It's weird. It does have the opening and closing mouth thing as well, but it was all sealed up in the packaging, so nothing I could do with that. That was the only Power Rangers thing in the shop, by the way. Just that.
Hey, you should be lucky they even had that much.
I honestly wasn't expecting it.
Equipping a character. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I do think that is a very funny thing to do.
It is a very funny thing to do. But
considering like what else is JDF known for?
MMA.
I
guess. I mean, yeah,
I
right.
Guess. He's Tommy. Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
I don't care. I mean, I literally
wasn't crying
couldn't
for
possibly
more
care
Tommy
less.
in my life.
It's funny, but like it doesn't affect me. I'm gonna forget about it as soon as the stream is over.
Yeah. It is nice to know he can't reappear in things again.
Oh, he will. He'll walk it.
Yeah,
back.
he will. He'll. It's true.
You know, when they come knocking on his door and be like, "Hey, man,
with
you want
a
to be
big
Tommy
suitcase
again?"
of money.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what the future of Power Rangers even looks like.
Yeah, maybe not.
You know, maybe he's throwing a fit the same way that RX's actor did when he threw as I recall, he threw a fit because they didn't contact him to ask him to come back for Black Sun. Isn't that he threw a fit about Black Sun? As I recall, like, because he like had a meltdown about it because I guess he found out about Black Sun the same time as everybody else did, like the public did. Since like his entire career, his entire life is just based around the fact that he played a popular hero in a tokusatsu 30 years ago. He threw a fit that they didn't inform him about it or like get his blessing or some shit. And that's what I recall. That's what I seem to recall happening, but I don't know. It also didn't concern me very much because I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. He said he didn't want to be associated with Black Pennywise. That was his only achievement. Okay, I mean, whatever. Yeah, despite banging off Reputation for years. Well, go out and do something else then. I don't know what to tell you, boss man.
Yeah.
Do something else.
I'm done with it.
Yeah, he did scam that guy. I do remember that.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
The growing list of Showa Kamen Riders who fucking scam people.
Well, the minute he goes on the run, then it's a pattern.
Yeah. He does run a steak place. You know, it's a bummer. I always heard that he was pretty nice. I always heard that he was nice. I mean, I guess you can't really put any stock into that kind of stuff anyway. It doesn't really affect me anyway. I'm never going to meet that guy.
No.
I guess I'm not going to eat at his steak restaurant either. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck him.
Fuck you.
Next time I'm in the neighborhood and
Next time I'm in the neighborhood, I'll be like,
won't go in there.
Fuck your steak.
Take my business elsewhere.
I'll take my fucking business to the Kamen Rider Cafe. Which is across the street.
Yeah.
That'd be funny, imagine.
Oh, I wish.
Is that like a pop-up thing? Does anyone know? Is that like a pop-up thing or is it like always there? I have no fucking idea. You know they have like pop-up, like themed pop-up cafes.
I hear it talked about often enough. I feel as if it's always there, but I don't know.
Oh, Power Rangers won't be dead. The live-action television show might be dead, but there's the comics and
the brand's gonna keep
the video games. I mean, they're obviously going for some sort of big brand revitalization next year. They're not pulling the plug on.
No, God, no.
Rangers.
It still makes enough money. Sure.
It's not even necessarily about the money. I mean, of course it is, but like, you know, like it or love it or hate it, Power Rangers is a pop culture icon. Well, it was.
Oh yeah.
It's a pop culture legacy. You know, it's batting the same. It's batting in the same league as fucking, you know, He-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers.
It's in that.
Maybe not the same as Transformers. But it's batting. It's batting in those American pop culture icons.
Yeah.
Where, you know, no matter how long, even if Power Rangers takes a hiatus, it's always gonna be there. There's always going to be a market for Power Rangers nostalgia.
Yeah.
Maybe
Honestly,
not so
maybe
much new Power Rangers. Power Rangers
Probably
nostalgia always is going to print you money. You know, the fucking
MMPR stuff.
MMPR nostalgia, just like
Always.
Transformers Gen 1,
It's
80s,
exactly the same
80s
thing.
TMNT. It's always going to print you money.
Yeah, always.
Although
That's the
I
thing.
would argue out of those three, I think Power Rangers had maybe the least amount of success adapting to the modern child.
Yeah.
Transformers has had its rough periods, but ultimately it's got more of a shelf presence than Power Rangers does.
Oh, easy.
Over the long term, like, in the 2000s and 2010s, during the Bayformers era, there was, Power Rangers, always. Transformers had, in like bigger Walmarts and Targets, there was a whole fucking aisle just Power Rangers. Fucking Transformers. Shut up about Power Rangers. Like, just Transformers as far as the eye can see. Base stuff, Gen 1 stuff, animated, Prime,
Yeah,
just rows and rows of Transformers. TMNT.
Yeah, for real.
It fares well enough. That
there's
nostalgia is still
something
going. There was
around.
just a new game that's really good. A new movie just came out, I think.
Yeah,
It's either coming out or it just came out. I don't follow Turtles, so I don't really know. I've been hearing some buzz about it. There's been successful cartoons every so often. He-Man's had it rough, though. I won't lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He-Man's had it fucked.
Yeah, it kind of has, but
He-Man is only marketed towards adult collectors, which I feel like might be the path that Power Rangers is going to find itself on if it's not already there.
Transformers is kind of like that in a way.
There's no currently airing Transformers media, is there?
Not right now.
No.
There's another one coming.
Oh, good.
Which
there's a fucking Beast Wars movie coming out.
There's a movie coming out. That's going to be all.
I forgot about that.
Transformers kind of had a bit of a little mitosis at some point. So now there's the show and the toys that are for kids, and there's all of the other stuff that's for the grown-ups.
Yep.
And also, kids can have it. If I was a kid, I'd still be getting.
I feel like that's really where Lightning Collection is at.
Yeah.
It's clearly for adult collectors. It's not really for. It's their toys, so they're for kids too. But obviously they're marketing it towards adult collectors. They're not marketing it towards kids. They're marketing figures of Power Ranger shows that were on the air 20 years before any of these kids were even fucking born. A kid walks into the fucking toy aisle and they see Zero Ranger 5 and they don't know who the fuck that is. Other than that, they can surmise that it's Power Ranger. They see SPD Green and they're like, I don't know what the fuck that is. These kids are saying fuck. She-Ra's had it real hard though. I feel like She-Ra's had a better time of it than He-Man.
Yeah,
in terms of
She-Ra at least
pop
has
culture
something
relevance.
Yeah, She-Ra was a big moment while it was going on.
It definitely faded as soon as it was over.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I don't think it didn't leave any bad impression. I think
She-Ra's had it hard overall. I think
overall,
but I think He-Man in the last 10 years, like the last 5 years or whatever, I feel like if you stack them up, I feel like She-Ra's had more of a presence than He-Man has.
Oh yeah.
The She-Ra show was a real smash hit, in my opinion. I don't know if it moves toys or whatever. I'm certainly not buying fucking She-Ra Barbie dolls or whatever.
No.
I don't know what the toy situation of that looks like, but
I remember there was a He-Man show that was on when I was a kid that I bought a few things from.
I never really even liked He-Man, to be honest with you.
It's not that exciting.
No, it's just whatever.
He-Man is kind of in a similar boat to G.I. Joe, I think, where so much of it was always about the play sets.
It was because G.I. Joe and He-Man were definitely they moved no toys. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
Netflix shows like that don't really get toy deals.
No, it's not. Well, yeah, because fuck this. The whole toy market is so unreadable compared to what it is in my head.
back in
Like,
the day.
I'm still thinking about when shit was on TV and you go to the shop and you'd see stuff that is in the show that you just watched on TV. There's no
The
fucking way
model
it's
has
still like that
changed. You
now.
know, it's not about necessarily selling toys to kids as it is about selling Netflix subscriptions to their parents.
Yeah.
You know, they're not particularly interested in making sure that your kid is playing with She-Ra dolls. They want your kid to be watching She-Ra on Netflix because you have to pay for that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
CGI He-Man show has toys though. Oh, interesting. I mean, I guess that's also the girl toy dilemma. You know, girls don't play with toys, so we don't make toys for girls shows, and then the toy shows, the sales suffer because there's no toys, and then we cancel the show. No, but like He-Man and G.I. Joe are from that '80s era, where they literally were just toy commercials.
They
G.I. Joe
like,
and G.I. Joe and He-Man
really
and Transformers too. Although Transformers was less about play sets, more about the individuals.
That's the thing, is that they had like a thing going for themselves, whereas G.I. Joe, it's like these little Army Man figures that come with a Jeep or a tank or a jet. And He-Man's like
this Army Man has a rocket
skull.
launcher. This Army Man has a machine gun, you know?
Individual figures cost so much now. No fucker is making play sets anymore.
No.
Beyond like the stuff you market to kids age 3, like those big play school heroes things.
Yeah,
the big Megazord they had a few years ago.
Yeah, the big Megazord.
That thing, you know, like the really simple, rough and tumble, just for very young kids stuff, because otherwise it becomes completely unaffordable to put on the shelf because you just can't be making stuff that big now.
The price of plastic, you know.
Exactly. It's just you just couldn't afford to make it, and no one could afford to buy it.
Nope. Well, like that's what sets Transformers apart in the long run, is that they had those like memorable characters going for them. I mean, everybody knows who Optimus Prime is. You know, if you've never watched Transformers in your life, my mom knows who Optimus Prime is. Probably, she's seen it. Like she watched the movies, but like my mom knows. If I text my mom right now and be like, "You know Optimus Prime, right?" She's like, "Of course I know Optimus Prime." My mom doesn't know Snake Eyes or that's the only G.I. Joe character I can think of right now. That's it. That's all I can think of right now, off the top of my head.
Duke.
Yeah. I was trying to remember Duke. You know, my mom doesn't know who Duke is. If I was a kid, I didn't really play with G.I. Joes. I had like one or two.
I don't think I ever had any. But
if I would have asked my mom to go to the store and buy me Optimus Prime, she would probably know what to get me.
Yeah,
like whatever. If I sent my mom to the store and I said, "Please get me a Duke from G.I. Joe," there's no fucking way my mom would know which character that was without like reading the box or whatever. But like, you know, like that's the thing, is like Transformers had those characters, and they were no more or less simple than the characters in He-Man or the characters in G.I. Joe, but they had distinct. On top of the distinct personalities, they also had distinct visuals.
Yeah,
with just the fact that they were the Transformers was helpful.
But the cool tank is a guy.
Yeah, for G.I. Joe, you want the cool. You're looking for the cool tank, and the guys you want the guys to put in the tank.
You need the guys to be there.
In Transformers, the tank is the guy. Nobody goes in the tank. The tank is the guy. You know, Optimus Prime is a big cool truck. You know, Megatron is a big cool gun. You know, Starscream is a jet. You know, all the war vehicles that kids want, but they're also their favorite character.
Yeah, it's much more appealing.
It's why Transformers has shown the test of time.
Yeah,
and also been able to score those big Hollywood movies. I mean, G.I. Joe did have big Hollywood movies too. Well, big is G.I. Joe had there was two.
There was one big one. The second one was
the second one was nothing.
A medium at best.
They were also both bad. No, wait, wasn't there a Snake Eyes movie?
There was a Snake Eyes movie. That's right. I didn't know. I know
was
nothing
that
about
was that their
it.
attempt to? That was their attempt to like try to replicate the Bumblebee movie? Do you think?
Probably, but like
this is the most popular character, Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
It's the most popular character, so we'll make it.
So
But like
cool.
the Snake Eyes movie, from my understanding, is exactly like that post about surfing Dracula. Do you know what post I'm talking about? Where like back in there's like the text post that's like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, there would be a show called Surfing Dracula, and he would get on a surfboard in every single episode of the show. But nowadays there would be a fucking like it would be like a 12 episode show, and he would only like use a surfboard in the last 5 minutes of the first episode of the last episode, and like the entire thing would be like a backstory to how he became Surf Dracula. That's what I understand the Snake Eyes movie is about, and he doesn't actually wear the Snake Eyes like outfit until like the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Awesome.
Like he's not actually Snake Eyes until the end of the movie.
Oh, terrific.
That's how I understand the movie to be, is the Surfing Dracula thing. The other two movies are at least fun. I don't know. I watched the first one and I was like, this is just like a Call of Duty movie to me.
Yeah, it's quite like that.
Maybe that's also a reason that G.I. Joe faded, is because now it's just Call of Duty.
Yeah. I watched the second one and that fucking sucked.
I remember in the second movie they retconned everything because they couldn't get the same actors back, so they killed all the characters off.
Right at the start. Yeah, so you're left with The Rock, who is Roadblock. Some other fucking guys. Bruce Willis is there just to have Bruce Willis in it.
Cool. Snake Eyes was the helmet literally right before the credits roll. Awesome. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Fuck yes, Surfing Dracula.
That's Surfing Dracula right there.
That's Surfing Dracula. Oh, beautiful stuff.
Beautiful stuff.
I will say the second one, it has one of the best Cobra Commander designs, which is the only thing that makes me give a shit about G.I. Joe ever, because I love how that guy looks.
I had a McDonald's toy of Cobra Commander one time. It's my extent of my experience with Cobra Commander.
I love that fucking dickhead. I think he looks so good always. Bald ass. Except for when he wears that stupid fucking Pac-Man ghost mask, then I think he looks terrible.
Old bald ass.
The fabric one, old bald ass. He's voiced by Starscream's actor.
Of course he is.
In the original.
Of course he is. Castlevania anime makes it that it takes 2 seasons before Trevor gets the vampire killer. Fuck.
Don't remind me about the Castlevania anime. That never happened.
I thought people liked the Castlevania anime.
Well,
they did in the first season. I know. That's all. I was hearing about it.
Yeah. I heard a lot of mixed things about the second one.
I don't have enough of a give a shit about Castlevania. I like Castlevania in theory. I just don't care enough about like this, like whatever. I like Castlevania music. That's what I like about Castlevania.
That's about it. Yeah.
I like Vampire's Killer. Like.
Oh, it's real good.
Whatever.
You know it. You know Luigi.
You know. Luigi. Anyway. All right, let's go home. Let's wrap it up.
Get out.
Let's wrap it up.
Everyone get out.
We're wrapping it up this time for realsies.
Yeah, that's it. We're done. Leave.
That was that was all for today. If you guys enjoyed, go fuck yourselves. We'll be back on Thursday. I'll be back on Thursday.
I can come back.
I mean, you can come back. I told you could just show up if you wanted to.
You did, but that's one of those things where even if I'm told I'm always welcome, I have to be invited.
You're never welcome.
Let's get out.
Get out. I'm gonna send you guys to Moki today. Mocha is playing Gay Ass Gear. And yeah, I'm trying to work through the backlog for these things, but I have a lot going on, so we'll see how it goes. I'm only a few behind, and I've been getting fucking added in the server about how one of the videos from the last one I uploaded was fucking age locked or whatever, so now I have to re-upload it. And you guys are lucky that I still have the files in my fucking computer, or otherwise I just tell you to fuck off. Because
That's it,
well,
it's
I
gone.
mean, I wouldn't have a choice if once the files are off my computer, if they're gone.
What can you do? Yeah.
I don't keep the MP4 files of streams. Like once I upload something to YouTube or Dailymotion, it gets deleted off my hard drive because I don't have the hard drive space to store hundreds and hundreds of gigabytes of mediocre streams. So anyway, that'll be all for today. Is my point, and I will fix that soon. And I will send you guys over to Moki. And that's it. Bye, everybody.
That's all.
Have a good rest of your night. I will see you all later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.